here's something people don't know about you. You coined the nickname Primetime. You gave him the nickname Prime.
Yes, I did.
How'd that come about?
Well, Dion was a three-sport, really a four-sport guy in high school, and I was one of his best friends, so I tagged along and played all those sports as well. And I remember during the basketball season, it was his going in his senior year, and I was a junior, and he was putting up 30 a night, 4 dunks, just killing everywhere we went, right? So one Tuesday night, we were getting ready to go to a game, and I was like, we're getting ready to play in prime time, and we got the best player in the district. Man, you prime time. You getting ready to play in prime time, and you prime time. And it just stuck with him.
Hey, one thing about the hood, you can't give yourself a name. A nickname is given.
That is so true.
I see a lot of guys try to name themselves. Hey, call me this. No, your partners come up with what to call you.
Exactly, and that makes it real, right?
Yeah.
You can't name yourself something. Your buddies, your partners, guys you play with, they got to respect you enough to name you, and then it's real.
So out of all these years, when you see Primetime, it's a prime time, I know it brings a smile to you. Like, hey, man, I did that.
Absolutely, so proud of it. And I keep telling them I'm waiting on the royalty check, but it ain't came yet.
I don't think it's coming.
It's probably not.
So it's Neely Ritter Pregame show here with my brother Richard Fain. How you making it?
I'm doing great, man. So happy to be here. This is a beautiful city.
Yeah, it is. It is. So, we got to kind of start at the beginning, at least why you're here. Then we'll go back some. So what brings you to Boulder today?
Well, one of my dearest and closest friends in the whole world, Coach Prime, and I have known each other for over 40 years. And certainly he's rooted for me. I've rooted for him as we were growing up. And we just remained friends since we were kids, man. And I decided to come out and visit him. He actually invited me to come out to visit him, and I said, man, I'm not passing up that opportunity.
Yeah.
So that's what brings me to Boulder this weekend.
Having lunch with you guys today, first time I learned, I knew you guys went way back together, but didn't know you guys were teammates, and when he left, you became the quarterback, et cetera, et cetera. So y'all, when I tell y'all they go way back.
We go way back. Way back, and had a lot of good times together, played a lot of football together, and I've learned so much from Coach Prime, and I think if you ask any of the guys that came out of our era in Fort Myers, Florida, they'll tell you the same thing. I know personally for me, his work ethic is what I've always aspired to be like. Yeah. His work ethic. I mean, Dion was always the best guy on the field. I mean, even when we were 8 years old playing little city league football, he was always the best on the field through every level. But I've never seen someone with that type of talent work as hard as him. Because I'm a firm believer in there's a lot of good players out there. Mm-hmm. But to become a great player, it got to be something else you got to give extra. And that's the extra he always has given. And that's why he's such a great man and a great player. Sure.
There's no doubt about that he has some God-given attributes that some other people, for whatever reasons, were not blessed with. But I'm in concurrence with you. He doesn't rest on that. Yeah. Like, he doesn't just sit back and be like, oh, I'm good, I got it. Like, every day is a new goal, a new work, a new accomplishment.
Every day he was, and I can remember one of the things that stick out to me about him is when we were in high school, it was going into his senior year, it was going into my junior year, and he would lead our workouts, like in the summertime. There wasn't no coaches. Yeah. He would set the stage. He'd be the first one there and the last one to leave. And that just set the tone for all of us younger guys. Yeah. Because we knew he was going on to do great things because he was just so talented. Mm-hmm. So he didn't really have to do that, but he did. And for me, that was like, and so when I became a senior, that's what I did because I had learned it from him. Yeah.
Now that we've gone back, let's come back this way. Because one of the profound things for me, having been here with Coach Prime since middle of December, was when he got his staff together and wanted them to receive financial planning advice, and you conducted that via Zoom. So I want to talk about your expertise in that, but first talk about just him having the notion of, I want to show these guys how to preserve what they're about to start getting now that we're moving up.
Right. I think it goes back to when we were growing up and what he saw his mom do to take care of their family, what I saw my mom do to take care of our family. I think both of us, it instilled a sense of, hey, if we're ever able to get some money together, we need to take care of that. And I think for Dion, he just took it to another level, right? But for me personally, it was like, well, I want to do for my mother what she did for myself and my two siblings. I want to be able to provide her and give her things. But I knew unless I got myself right financially and got my financial literacy correct, I wouldn't be able to do that for her. And so that started my journey around 26 years old. I said to myself, you know something? No one's going to give me anything. I got to learn this financial literacy thing, and then I got to take those tools and take action and start investing my money in assets that actually build wealth, that actually generate passive income. And that's how it all started for me.
It's amazing, man, because I follow you on Twitter and on YouTube, and you know some of the nuggets of information you give out to people. Because a lot of folks think, well, I don't have it, I don't make enough to invest. And the truth is, when you listen to what you put out there, you don't have, most folks don't have an income problem, they have an expenditure problem. And you got to reprioritize your expenditures where you can make some room to invest, and it just starts to replicate. So talk to us about that discipline that you and Coach Prime took from football into finances, because it takes discipline to do this.
Yes, and I look at it this way. I got 3 financial behaviors that I talk to people about that they need to have, and then I have 4 financial principles. So let's start with the 3 financial behaviors.
Let's do it.
Discipline is the first one. Consistency, and then patience. See, building wealth is about doing something that you necessarily may not want to do, but you want the benefit from that hard work or that investing. You want the benefit from it. I don't want to take, $500 a month and put it in anything that is not going to give me something right away. But I know I got to discipline myself in order to do that, because I know if I do discipline myself, it will build on itself and create wealth for me over time. And then the consistency is just me saying, okay, all right, I got the discipline thing down. I'm ready to take this $500 a month and put it towards something, but I can't just do it once. I got to do it over and over. That's where that consistency comes in, right? And then the patience is, there's no get rich overnight for 99% of us.
No.
For 99% of us, we're going to have to discipline ourselves, be consistent, and then just be patient and know that if I do this over a long period of time, then I'm going to build a nest egg for myself. And I think those are the 3 things that I try to get people to understand. And that just all boils down to the behavior with money. People's behavior with money, right? And then the 4 financial principles is live on less than what I make. If I'm making $3,000 a month, I gotta live on 2. Right? And then the next one.
But how simple is that to say, but how so hard for people to do?
Well, it's hard for people to do is because we haven't been taught that. See, our financial system is predicated on people like you and I and all our good folks out there that are listening and watching. It's all predicated on us taking our money and buying stuff. See, 70% of our economy is based on consumer spending. So our whole economy is built on that. So in school, and they teach us to do what? They teach us how to get a job. They don't teach us how to build wealth. They teach us how to get a job so that we can go out and buy these things that keep our economy running. And I'm not saying that's a bad thing.
No, it's necessary.
It is a necessary thing, but we gotta keep it in the right perspective. See, I got 2 choices when I make money. I got a choice to take that money and make someone else wealthy, or I can take that money and make myself wealthy. So those are my 2 choices. Now, I'm not saying I don't take my money and buy my basic needs. But see, a lot of us get our needs and our wants mixed up.
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
A lot of us are buying wants.
And a lot of the purchases of wants is a need for people to see us a certain way.
Sure. You know that old saying, keeping up with the Joneses?
Yeah.
Now it's just this whole social media thing came out. It's just keeping up with the social media people.
Yeah.
See, I see my favorite celebrity or my favorite athlete or my favorite entertainer. I see them living this crazy lifestyle. And for me, I want a little piece of that.
Yeah.
Now, I know I can't do everything they do, but I could go out and buy me a Louis bag.
Yeah.
I can go out and buy me a...
Yeah.
When I know that's not really what I should be doing with that.
Not at all.
You see what I mean? So that's where the need versus want thing comes in. A lot of us get those two mixed up.
And I didn't mean to throw you off on your four, so please go back and throw
And then, so we talked about live on less than what you make.
Mm-hmm.
We talked about live on a plan, which is you got to have a personal budget, right? You got to know how much money you got coming in. You got to know how much money you got going out.
Okay.
Because that's the only way we're going to have enough money to be able to invest. We got to have something left over.
Sure.
And it goes back to expenditures. So when I look at my budget, when I sit down and write out my personal budget, I got this much income coming in, but golly, man, I got $2,000 coming in, but I got $2,000 going out.
Yeah.
You can't be over.
Something got to go.
Something got to go. So what I got to do is I got to sit down
Yeah.
and look at those expenses and determine what are needs and what are wants, and then I got to cut out the wants. That's how I create $1,000 a month to be able to invest. So if I'm making $2,000 a month and I'm spending $2,000, but really I'm spending $1,000 on things that I really shouldn't be spending it on. Now I got that $1,000 and I can start putting in something to multiply.
Yeah.